Imagine being shot more than 12 times, left for dead in the middle of the street, only to live to tell your story of survival. Unfortunately, her story is one that happens far more than it should. A bad relationship, thoughts of should I stay or should I go, how when she didn't, it nearly cost her her life.
Imagine this: Halloween night, a time for costumes, laughter, and candy. But for Nicole Jones, a dedicated healthcare worker, this night would turn into something straight out of a horror film, only it wasn't fiction. A toxic love triangle had been brewing for months, and on this night, it reached its boiling point. Threats became a reality. Jealousy turned lethal, and in a matter of moments, Nicole found herself staring into the barrel of a gun. 17 shots fired at Nicole Jones, striking her stomach, back, and legs. How did she survive? What drove someone to such unimaginable violence? And what kind of betrayal set the stage for this chilling act? Stay with us as we unravel the harrowing story of survival, resilience, and justice in the case of Nicole Jones. This is one true crime story you'll never forget. Nicole Jones was born and raised in the small community of Bellwood, Illinois, where the value of hard work and compassion was instilled in her from an early age. Growing up in a Christian household, she displayed a natural inclination toward helping others, a trait that would later define her career and character. It was something she always credited to her parents, supportive figures who emphasized the importance of kindness and resilience. After completing high school, Nicole pursued a healthcare career, drawn by her desire to make a meaningful difference in people's lives. She trained as a healthcare worker, dedicating herself to providing care and comfort to those in need. Her colleagues and patients often described her as empathetic, diligent, and unwavering in her commitment to her profession. By the time she faced the harrowing events of 2020, Nicole had already earned a reputation as someone who put others first, both personally and professionally. Nicole was known for her vibrant personality and strong sense of independence outside of work. She valued her close-knit circle of friends and family, enjoying simple pleasures like gatherings and community events. Despite the challenges she faced in her relationships, Nicole's resilience and optimism shone through, qualities that would later play a crucial role in her survival and recovery.
I started seeing the different side of him. And, he started being unfaithful, the lies. He was such a good liar. There were a lot of signs, I would say, fairly in the beginning, but I closed a blind eye to it.
Nicole had been in a relationship for nearly a year. On the surface, everything seemed perfect. Her boyfriend was charming and attentive, and Nicole believed they shared a strong connection. However, subtle cracks began to appear about 6 months into the relationship. It started with whispers of infidelity, small rumors that Nicole brushed aside, convincing herself they couldn't possibly be true. But the signs became harder to ignore. Suspicious behavior, inconsistencies in his stories, and unexplained absences began to plant seeds of doubt in Nicole's mind. Her intuition told her something was wrong. Determined to uncover the truth, Nicole began paying closer attention to the red flags she had previously dismissed. The devastating revelation came one evening when she stumbled upon undeniable evidence. Her boyfriend was involved with another woman. The betrayal was a crushing blow. What she had believed to be a committed relationship was, in reality, a tangled web of deceit.
He was just playing the middleman. He was telling her one thing, telling me one thing, and I just got fed up with it after a while.
Nicole confronted her boyfriend, expecting an apology or, at the very least, a decision to end the affair. Instead, his response compounded her pain. He refused to choose between the two women, insisting on maintaining relationships with both. His indifference fanned the flames of jealousy and resentment, leaving Nicole feeling insecure.
unfaithful. The girl my boyfriend was cheating on me with, she became a living nightmare. She would always come to my house when she knew me and him was together.
Far from remaining in the background, the other woman took an active role in disrupting Nicole's life. At first it was subtle, unwanted calls and vague, cryptic messages that hinted at her presence. But as time passed, her actions grew bolder and more aggressive. She began showing up unannounced at Nicole's home, creating loud, disruptive scenes that drew the attention of neighbors. Each visit left Nicole shaken and deeply unsettled. Despite her efforts to rise above the situation, the tension was unbearable. Nicole tried maintaining her composure, focusing on her work, and leaning on close friends for support. Yet the harassment continued to escalate, and her attempts to reason with her boyfriend fell on deaf ears. The intrusion into her life was relentless, leaving Nicole feeling increasingly vulnerable and isolated. By Halloween, Nicole was emotionally exhausted from the constant drama. After attending a small gathering with friends, she returned home, hoping for a quiet night. But her phone buzzed, with an all-too-familiar name. The call was from the other woman. The voice on the other end was laced with venom. The conversation quickly turned hostile, with the woman hurling threats and accusations. Nicole tried to remain calm, but the words cut deep. "You'll regret ever coming between us," the woman snarled. It wasn't the first time she had made such threats, but something about her tone that night sent a chill down Nicole's spine.
He has his van, and it has this very loud, distinct motor sound, and I hear it pulling up on my block, and I look out the window, and sure enough, and she starts shooting me.
A neighbor was the first to summon help and come to Nicole's aid.
Nicole stepped outside, intending to defuse the situation. But as she opened the door, the confrontation took a deadly turn. Without a word, the woman pulled out a gun, its cold metallic surface glinting ominously. Nicole froze, barely having enough time to react before the first shot rang out. The bullet tore through her stomach, and she staggered but didn't fall. Another shot followed, and then another. She later described the first 3 shots as feeling like the wind was knocked out of her, and as though she was in a room of fire. She collapsed onto the ground. But the assault didn't stop there. The woman stood over her, methodically firing again and again, targeting her back and legs. Words of malice accompanied each shot. "Die," she hissed, her voice devoid of humanity. Nicole's world blurred into a haze of pain and fear. She couldn't move, couldn't fight back. While she lay there playing dead with hopes that her assailant would leave her alone, all she could do was pray for it to end. Her body was riddled with bullets, yet somehow she remained conscious. She thought of her family, friends, patients, all the people who depended on her. She couldn't let this be the end.
Help my neighbor on the top floor. I hear her scream out her window, "Stop, leave her alone."
The chaotic scene might have continued unabated if not for the intervention of a vigilant neighbor. Hearing the gunshots and the commotion, the neighbor stepped outside and shouted into the night, "The police are coming!" Those words shattered the assailant's focus. Panic flickered across her face as she realized time was running out. Without a second glance, she fled the scene, leaving Nicole bleeding and motionless on the ground. The silence was deafening, broken only by the faint rustle of leaves and the distant wail of approaching sirens.
Street. Those terrifying moments are captured on both 911 calls and Bellwood police body cam footage.
Okay, hold on. What happened?
This girl been shot.
Paramedics arrived swiftly, their professionalism masking the gravity of the situation. Nicole's injuries were severe. She had been shot 17 times, her body riddled with bullet wounds that left her clinging to life. She was rushed to the hospital, where a team of surgeons worked tirelessly to stabilize her. To give her body a fighting chance, doctors placed Nicole in a medically induced coma. For 4 days, she hovered between life and death. Friends and family waited anxiously for updates, their hope wavering with each passing hour. When Nicole finally regained consciousness, the news was both a relief and a devastating blow. She had survived, but the extent of her injuries was overwhelming. 17 bullets had torn through her body, damaging muscles, nerves, and bones. Doctors told her she might never walk again. For most people, such a prognosis would be crushing. But Nicole wasn't like most people. Despite the pain and the odds stacked against her, she resolved to fight. Her journey to recovery began with grueling physical therapy sessions. Every movement was excruciating, but Nicole pushed through. Within 3 weeks, she achieved what many thought impossible. She stood on her own, albeit with the help of a walker. The road to recovery was far from smooth. The physical pain was immense, but the emotional toll was equally daunting. Nicole grappled with depression, haunted by the memories of that night. The isolation imposed by the COVID-19 pandemic compounded her struggles, as she couldn't receive visitors during her hospital stay. There were moments when the weight of it all felt unbearable, but Nicole's determination never wavered. As she fought to regain her strength, Nicole remained sharp and resolute in seeking justice. She provided the police with the identity of her attacker, and within an hour, the woman was apprehended. Charges of attempted murder were brought against her, and the legal process began. Her fate is unknown now, as records pertaining to the case are still private. For Nicole, the arrest brought a measure of relief, but also reopened wounds. She had to relive the trauma, recounting the events of that night in excruciating detail. Yet she faced it all with the same courage that had carried her through her recovery. Her relationship with her boyfriend, however, didn't survive the ordeal. While he initially expressed remorse for his role in the events leading up to the attack, his actions afterward showed little change. Unable to tolerate his continued behavior, Nicole distanced herself from him. It was a choice born of self-respect and a desire to rebuild her life on her terms. Since her recovery, Nicole has participated in several interviews to share her story and inspire others. In a particularly poignant interview with Vlad TV, Nicole recounted the harrowing details of the night she was attacked. She described the surreal feeling of survival. "When I was laying there, I just kept thinking, I have to survive this. There was so much I still wanted to do." Her words reflected not only the trauma she endured, but also her remarkable determination to overcome it. Nicole also spoke at length about her recovery process. In an interview with Humanity, she explained the emotional and physical toll of rehabilitation. "Every step I took felt like climbing a mountain. But I told myself, one day at a time. That's how I got through it." Nicole often emphasizes the importance of community and support systems during her appearances. In an interview with ABC 7 Chicago, she thanked her neighbors and first responders, calling them her angels in disguise. Reflecting on her neighbors' intervention, she said, "That one shout saved my life. Without them, I wouldn't be here today." Her interviews often serve as a platform for advocacy. Nicole uses her story to raise awareness about domestic violence and the warning signs of toxic relationships. "Looking back, I see the red flags," she admitted during the interview with ABC 7 Chicago. "If sharing my story can help one person walk away before it's too late, then it's worth it." Nicole's resilience and openness have touched countless lives. Her words inspire, offering hope to others who face their battles. "I'm not just a survivor," she said in a closing remark during a recent podcast interview. "I'm living proof that you can rebuild, no matter how broken you feel." Today, Nicole's story stands as a powerful testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Despite the physical and emotional scars she carries, she refuses to let them define her. Instead, she uses her experience to inspire others, showing that survival is possible even in the face of unimaginable adversity. Her journey is far from over. Recovery is a continuous process, one that demands strength and patience. However, Nicole approaches it with the same determination that helped her stand again after being told she never would. She is a survivor in every sense of the word, a beacon of hope for those who face their battles. Nicole's story is not just about survival, it is about reclaiming life. It is a narrative of courage, resilience, and the unwavering will to overcome. 17 bullets could not silence her, and neither will the challenges ahead. Her journey reminds us of the power of perseverance and the strength of the human spirit. Thank you for watching. Tell us your thoughts in the comments. What stood out to you most about Nicole's incredible fight for survival?
Don't forget to like the video and let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming true crime stories.